Welcome back, guys, or if you're new to my channel, this is Automotive Anonymous. That's our 2025 Subaru Forester, and I'm pretty sure as of today filming this, it's been 3 months since we've bought in this. It only has about 1,500 miles on it, so really there haven't been that many miles added since my last update video. But there are a few things that I want to mention that might be interesting to you, especially if you guys are considering one of these, whether it's a 2025 or maybe a 2026 or 2027 over the next couple of years. I think you might be interested to know what is it like to own one of these and what can you expect to find out about the ownership experience, at least in my firsthand experience. This is our third Subaru, and I've been trying to say that on more of my Subaru videos. I know a lot of you guys watch quite often, and I am so grateful for you guys watching and being returning viewers for me and commenting and interacting on my videos and all of that. But I know a lot of you guys, in fact about 50% or more, are brand new viewers every single time I post a Subaru related video or any of my other review videos. So I just want to share a lot of information regarding this at the 3-month checkup. And if you guys like anything you see today, please consider liking this video, comment your thoughts and opinions below, subscribe if you haven't already. And with that said, let's dive right into this update video. Fortunately, in only 1,500 miles, as you'd expect, nothing has gone wrong with this so far. It does have a Yokohama Geolandar tire. It's a 17-inch wheel on this premium one. And currently it has about 930 seconds of tread. So I'd imagine these wheels will last maybe 40,000 miles, and I'm super excited to show you how this one does specifically in the winter with its only Stage 1 X mode. I have a lot of Subaru in the winter footage from last year and a lot with my Outback Wilderness, but I am pretty excited to show you this one. So far, it hasn't really done a whole lot of off-roading, just a little bit, and it seems to be doing a better job than my Outback so far at keeping the engine bay clean. I guess it hasn't driven in super heavy rain or snow yet, but on some off-road dusty trails, actually looks pretty good, and most things are very easy to reach on this 2.5-liter engine. Headlights are super bright. In the near future, I'm going to be doing a nighttime driving review video to help you guys see what is it like to drive a slightly tinted Forester at night. Spoiler alert, the LEDs are super bright, including the reverse backup lights. Those are crazy bright. But overall, having owned 3 Subarus now, a Crosstrek for over 40,000 miles, my Outback Wilderness for over 40,000 miles, and this, I'm hoping to have the same experience out of this, which is basically a perfect experience for a couple years anyways. We've been fortunate enough, no electrical issues, nor mechanical issues, or any other concerns. I've been pretty impressed with our Subaru experience, and hopefully this one remains to be the same way as our previous ones. And then in 3 months, I'm pretty sure I only took it through the car wash maybe once about a month ago. So the paint, this crystal white pearl, has quite a few blemishes on top of it. But as far as the clear coat or the actual paint, I really can't tell anything that's wrong with it. I am pretty glad that we did decide to go with the white color because they just look so good. And if 70 to 80% of cars these days coming out of the manufacturers are some version of white or gray or boring black, which nothing against black if that's your cup of tea, but I think white just looks really good, especially with the white and black theme. But this one being the premium, MSRP was a little bit over $35,000 with the option that we have for the power liftgate and the blind spot monitoring. And then we did buy a 10-year, 100,000 mile extended warranty on it. So I think this is a pretty good bargain. Since my last update video on this, I've driven a few Mazdas, a 2025 CX-5, CX-50, a couple Hondas and Toyotas, and a few other vehicles. And I just think in today's age, 35 grand for a vehicle that can basically do it all really isn't that bad of a deal, especially where these have kind of gone up in price with inflation at a typical rate. Unlike a lot of the American trucks that are now 60 to 70 grand and you still get cloth seats, I think a very safe, capable, kind of one and done, do it all unibody vehicle like this for $35,000 is a pretty decent deal, and I really hope that Subaru kind of keeps up with the same pricing that they currently have on their current 2025 models. And if you haven't seen it, I recently just posted an update video on my Outback Wilderness after 3 years. What was the price of it? What was the cost of it? And how much has it been to own it, to maintain it? And how much has it lost in depreciation? So I cover all of that, but if you missed that video, I will say that I spent about $70 a month on full coverage for the Outback. This one, though, is actually about $82, so it's a little bit more expensive, even though it's a less expensive vehicle. And I think a lot of that just comes to the first couple years of expenses for being a brand new vehicle, a brand new generation, and I would imagine that that price point will come down a little bit. But at $82 a month for full coverage, I don't feel like that's too bad on something like this. And then it does get basically the exact rating of the EPA MPG on this. In the mid-upper 20s around town, low 30s on the highway. But what I was really impressed with it on a few 100-mile road trip that we did take it got about 30 miles per hour at 80 miles per hour, which is the interstate speed. And I was pretty happy with that. I was expecting it to get maybe 27 or 28, but it actually averaged around 30 at 80 miles per hour. So if you are someone who might be considering a Forester as your next vehicle or a future vehicle for you or maybe a family member, overall, they're just really good because they're safe, they're capable, they do a lot of things well. They have a super spacious back seat. MPG, power, and the infotainment systems, those are kind of the downfalls on these. Not a lot of people love that it's technically a CVT transmission, although Subaru's Lentronic CVT is house built, seems to be one of the best ones on the market. And there is supposed to be a hybrid system coming soon, which just like the RAV4, where the hybrid system adds about 20 horsepower in the basic version, I think that that's going to be a really nice addition to this, especially where a lot of Subaru owners live in climates that get snow. They travel up into the mountains, whether for summer activities or winter skiing, snowboarding, snowshoeing, anything like that. And under the hood of this Forester, there's a lot of room where you could fit a hybrid system. It hasn't been announced yet what Toyota and Subaru are going to be doing because Toyota does own a 20% stake in this. At least publicly it hasn't been mentioned as far as I know, but I also don't really follow a whole lot of rumors until things are actually announced by the manufacturer. But if you look under the vehicle by the intake plethrum and everything, there's maybe 4 or 5 inches of height that you could fit something under here. Also, where the Subaru block connects to the CVT automatic transmission down there, there is a lot of room, although if you stuff some extra components down there, that is going to take away from the ease of maintenance on this. So basically what I'm trying to say is I don't know if it's going to be a hybrid boxer engine with the symmetrical all-wheel drive system, like what the first and the second generation of the Crosstrek hybrid was, because that was kind of a failed project, and there's a reason why that's not currently offered on the third generation. Basically, if you're unfamiliar with that, you lost about 6 cubic feet of cargo capacity in the rear. You didn't really gain any more power. It didn't accelerate faster than the 2-liter naturally aspirated version did, but it cost $6,000, $8,000 more. So a hybrid Crosstrek that barely got better MPG was in the mid-upper 30s, and that's just too expensive for something like this. But then if Toyota, with its 20% stake in Subaru, does put, you know, a 2.5-liter A25A Toyota engine in this, and the Toyota eCVT, which is basically not a CVT with how it's so mechanical and an electric motor basically, that's going to probably take away from the Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive. Honestly, if they can figure out how to keep the all-wheel drive system of this and put that engine in, I would actually be pretty impressed with that. I don't think the maintenance is going to be as easy as the Boxster, where everything is laid out right up top, right on, you know, on the front of it for you. But I think that would be a pretty lethal power combo to make this an even better vehicle. Getting up to 40 on the highway, 40 around town, hopefully only costing another $1,000 or $2 more than the regular Boxster engine, and Toyota reliability with how many A25A engines are currently out there. That could be a home run, but as far as I know, that hasn't officially been announced yet. So if a little bit better MPG and a little bit better miles per gallon matters to you, knowing that there's likely going to be more complexity, a little bit higher price tag, it might be worth it for you guys to wait out and see what the actual Forester hybrid turns out to be. But as far as I know, this first year of the Forester for the 6th generation is going to be the only one that's actually assembled in Japan before it gets moved to the United States when the legacy sedan disappears, which probably is fine because both of my other Subarus have been assembled in America. But there's kind of an assumption that the Japanese maybe take a little bit more pride in their work, and they maybe do a little bit better quality control job before they put these on the boats and they ship them to you. So I don't think it's necessarily worth waiting for. I do think if you are very interested in that, maybe go test drive a RAV4 hybrid and see if that kind of system, that kind of power level is actually what you're wanting, and maybe look into what they do for all-wheel drive in the winter. There's a lot of good videos testing its capability, and you can kind of decide for yourself if it's worth waiting for that system, if that is going to be what's going into this, or if you just want the basic Forester and a little bit less complexity. I don't think you can go wrong either way. So ultimately, I just think you guys need to go to the dealerships, test drive these for yourself, watch other people's videos too, check them out and see if this might be the right vehicle for you. After 3 months, I know we've hardly driven it. I was actually kind of telling you guys in those early videos that we're hardly going to drive this. We just need a bigger, safer, more capable vehicle for my wife. One that's going to replace her little 1.4-liter turbo Chevy Cruze. And honestly, this gets about the same miles per gallon. This actually is a little bit faster on my GPS testing, and it has checked all the boxes of the things we care about. We knew going into this that the infotainment system isn't very good, so hook up Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. It works flawlessly, at least in our experience with iPhones. And overall, I really don't have any complaints, and I hope this video has been helpful for any of you guys who are maybe considering a 2025 or newer Forester. I'll also put out a few more videos on it. Like I mentioned, the nighttime driving video. I'll probably do an oil change video on it soon. I have a few other update videos, and maybe I'll use our own Forester as an example, comparing it to some other vehicles, and some future review videos if you want to see more of it. Personally, I'm really glad we bought it. I think at $35,000 MSRP, that's a pretty good deal. And you guys can get maybe a couple $1,000s off if you get to the right dealership. Check out Twin Falls Subaru. They hooked us up on a good deal, and I'm sure they'll hook you up as well. So with that said, if you guys got anything out of this video, please consider liking this video. Comment your thoughts and opinions below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I wish you the best. I hope to see you again. And until next time, take care, guys.